At the hospital pharmacy, I checked the last prescription as the clock struck 3 p.m., right on time for my early finish today, given it's Thanksgiving. With anticipation for a family dinner, my colleague Martha remarked on the specialness of the day, and I agreed while removing my white coat. It's a significant occasion. We're having a family dinner for the first time in ages, I replied. My name is Caroline West, a hospital pharmacist for over a decade. The meticulous nature of my job, like mixing medications and providing detailed patient care, matches my personality perfectly. As I retrieved my bag from the staff room, I mentally reviewed the evening's menu. Roast turkey, potato gratin, and pumpkin pie, all prepared starting yesterday. Thanksgiving holds a unique place in my heart since it involves cherished family gatherings. Reflecting on the drive home, memories of my mother Judith 8 years ago marrying my stepfather Walter resurfaced. Her happiness helped me accept the change, though the family dynamic shifted, especially with my sister Ashley. Unlike me, she thrives in social settings and, as an influencer with over 100,000 Instagram followers, values likes and follower growth, unlike my appreciation for heartfelt thank yous from patients. On the way, I noticed I missed cranberry sauce and stopped by the supermarket. Checking out, my mom called about a sudden issue regarding Ashley's friend, casting doubt on her timely dinner arrival, a recurrent occurrence nowadays. I sighed, aware that Ashley's social media dilemmas or mom's social ties often took precedence over family events. Once home, I continued with dinner, placing the turkey in the oven, arranging side dishes, and setting the table for expected guests, albeit my stepfather Walter was absent due to business travel. I remembered to sprinkle cinnamon on the pumpkin pie and, with it baking, lit the living room fireplace. Outside darkness crept in as time ticked to 5:30 p.m., half an hour till our agreed time. Back in the kitchen, the turkey was beautifully browned. Ashley prefers the breast, Mom, the leg. By 7 p.m., when no one had arrived, I called multiple times, but Mom and Ashley didn't answer. They mentioned being late, but not this much. At 7:30, food cooled when the doorbell unexpectedly rang. I eagerly opened it, but no one was there, only an envelope. Inside, a note from Mom read, "We went to the upscale restaurant The Grand. Enjoy your dinner alone." Baffled, I reread it repeatedly, disbelieving after my week's efforts and morning's cooking for Thanksgiving dinner. They dined out. Those thoughts toppled as giggling erupted from the living room closet. Suddenly, Mom Judith and Ashley emerged, laughing uncontrollably. Ashley, holding her cell phone, howled. "Did you see her face?" She really believed it. Their amusement seemed distant, my body immobilized. "Prank success," rejoiced Ashley, holding her phone towards me, capturing the live stream. My confusion on display, watched by possibly thousands, the real source of Ashley and Mom's amusement. Mom caught her breath. It's for Ashley's YouTube channel, part of her family pranking series, today's Thanksgiving special. Her expression of delight appeared harsh as Ashley pivoted to her influencer persona. "Everyone, today's target is my serious sister Carol. This is definitely going viral." As strangers reveled in my turmoil, a pang hit my chest. "This is my first time in Ashley's project," Mom continued, brimming with enthusiasm. "What do you think, surprised? Fun, isn't it?" A tempest of emotions surged within, shock, bewilderment, and burgeoning anger. I silently contemplated the torn letter, acknowledging my meal planning, grocery runs, and early turkey prep all for a prank. A part of me fractured. "Carol, say something," Mom prompted, seeming uneasy, with growing impatience at the absent expected reaction. Ashley, with one hand steadying the camera, gently tapped my shoulder. "Isn't it amusing? More followers could mean more sponsorship deals." I observed the chaotic scene, struggling for words while clutching the torn letter, my voice lost amidst confusion and frustration. "You sis," there was genuine excitement in her voice. For her, this must be a moment of pure happiness. High social media ratings, follower numbers, and the consequent contracts and earnings were the core of her values, quite distant from mine. I silently observed the letter in my grip, then gradually ripped it into halves with both hands. The sound of tearing echoed in the stillness of the living room, resonating like something tearing inside my heart. "What are you doing?" Ashley exclaimed, her eyes wide open. "You're ruining the pre-edited footage." She hadn't anticipated my reaction. There was genuine astonishment in her voice. She had expected her compliant, understanding sister, the sister who always endured with a smile. Letting the torn papers fall to the ground, I took a deep breath. I attempted to gather my words as calmly as I could, though a tremor was evident. Containing my emotions, I asked, "Did either of you ever consider my feelings?" My voice, though quiet, carried an undertone of anger. "Do you know how many weeks I spent preparing for this? I woke up at 4 a.m. to cook," I continued, my gaze fixed on the cooling meal before me. Mentally, I tracked the passing hours. 4, 5, 6, all were wasted. "But that's what makes the prank funny," Ashley retorted, a shade of annoyance in her expression. "Everyone, this is my sister. She can't even take a little joke because of her rigid personality," she went on, continuing to record. Her words stung. For years, my personality had been critiqued as being too serious to handle even the slightest of jokes. "A joke?" My voice involuntarily rose. "Look over there." I pointed strenuously at the table. "The meal I prepared for you. Turkey, gratin, pumpkin pie. All are cold now." My voice quivered, dominated more by profound sadness than anger. Years of alienation and misunderstanding were on the verge of overwhelming me. Mom's face grew concerned. "Carol, please don't be mad. We intended to eat together post-prank," she admitted, regret subtly lacing her voice as she realized the situation deviated from her expectations. But it was too late. A shift had occurred within me. "Really?" I laughed bitterly. "Those were just your plans, to enjoy a cold meal after Ashley's video wrapped up. You expected a forgiving smile and feigned surprise, regardless of my feelings." I spoke smilingly, but there was a lack of humor in my gaze. It felt like the culmination of all my endurance. "You're overreacting," Ashley shot back, keeping her camera steady. "This is just family entertainment. Can't you grasp that?" Her voice tinged with vexation, as her plans weren't coming to fruition, and her viewers not entertained. "Entertainment," I quietly replied, whispering to myself. "Turning my feelings into a public spectacle for ridicule, that's what you call entertainment." Mom attempted to step in. "Carol, calm down," she entreated. Ashley had no ill intentions. "Let's just laugh and put it behind us," urgency detectable in her voice. She wanted me to concede, as always to emit familial harmony. A sudden insight dawned on me that there was a standard in this supposed dynamic. I stared outside. Only darkness greeted me. Thanksgiving night should have been filled with familial warmth, yet presence in this household felt near suffocating. "That's enough," I declared softly. "I will abstain from this charade." Those words marked farewell, not solely to the prank, but also to years of enduring a flawed dynamic. I traced my way to the entryway, took my coat, and moved resolutely toward the door. My resolve was unwavering, though my hands subtly trembled. "Wait, where are you headed?" Mom inquired, surprised, yet I sensed real concern for the first instance. However, it was too late. "I'm leaving," I replied, my hand already on the doorknob. "You're kidding, right?" Ashley chuckled. "This isn't something to get upset over." She still didn't, or perhaps refused to, grasp the gravity of matters. Without a glance back, I opened the door as the icy night air embraced my face, a welcomed sensation. "Wait," Mom's voice resonated from behind. This time, genuine panic was apparent in her tone. "Filming is finished now, come back inside. We can reheat the food," she offered. Ashley seemed flustered too. "Sis, are you serious? Isn't Thanksgiving all about family time?" Their ironic words pierced deeper. After all, they crafted a prank that would deliberately isolate me on a family-centric occasion. I chuckled at the irony that gnarled in my heart. "It was just a joke," Mom called from behind. "Come back," she repeated, but I remained unwavering. I embraced the night ahead, a quiet residential area under a moonlit, cold Thanksgiving night, as lights and laughter seeped from each home I passed. Each warm glimpse accentuated loneliness. With every step further, memories of warmth faded. Anger and a burgeoning release enveloped me despite a lack of tears forming. I felt liberated from the burdening yoke of familial expectations. As the varied emotions merged, a recognition emerged of my family's profound disconnect, brought to a surface. As I wandered aimlessly in a quiet neighborhood, a message I'd received suddenly surfaced in my mind. 3 days prior, I had turned down an invitation from my college friend Christine to attend her Thanksgiving party, claiming I would spend it with my family. Ironically, plans shifted. Approaching a local convenience store, I took my smartphone out of silent mode and saw missed calls from Mom and Ashley. Ignoring them, I reread Christine's invitation asking if I'd like to come to the party, with familiar faces present. In my hesitation, I wondered if it was intrusive to ask to join now, but I saw no other options. Inhaling deeply, I typed a message. "Good evening, Christine. This is sudden, but if it's still possible, may I come to your party?" Instant regret washed over me for contacting someone I declined at this hour. Waiting nervously for a reply, one came swiftly. "Of course, come over. Everyone will be glad to see you." Did something happen? Christine's kindness touched me, tears welling up as I briefly explained my situation, confirmed the address, and sent a reply. "I'm on my way." I debated taking a taxi, but opted to walk the 20 minutes instead, hoping movement would also clear my head. As I walked, thoughts drifted to my family, especially my mom. After her remarriage to my stepfather, Walter, a decent man, the dynamic at home changed. In her new role as Walter's wife, Mom's presence and time for me lessened. Meanwhile, Ashley grew more popular on social media, becoming distant as well. I felt alone in upholding family traditions, like remembering birthdays and celebrating holidays. Arriving at Christine's apartment, bright lights and laughter spilled from the windows. Hesitating momentarily, I wondered if showing up was okay before ringing the bell. Christine greeted me warmly. "Carol, you made it," she said, hugging me. Explaining over the phone was tough. "It's a long story," I began as cheering erupted in the living room. Old friends, Emily, Mark, and Lisa, called out one after another from college days. Time had changed them, but their smiles remained the same. "I didn't think you'd come. You mentioned dinner with your family," Lisa noted. "Plans changed," I responded vaguely, evading the need for details. Christine shifted the topic skillfully. "I'm glad you're here. Help yourself, there's plenty," she offered. The feast of traditional Thanksgiving dishes was reminiscent of home, but here, it felt inviting and warm. "Who cooked this?" "It looks amazing," I asked, complimenting the spread. Christine gestured towards the kitchen. "That's James. He's a chef and is planning to open a restaurant." James, a man in his mid-30s with kind eyes, turned and greeted me. "Are you Carol, Christine's famous friend? How are you finding the food?" "It's delightful," I praised sincerely. "Perfect from any perspective." "Are you a professional?" James inquired. "No, I'm a pharmacist with a cooking hobby," I answered. James chuckled. "A unique pairing, pharmacy insight with culinary skills. We should converse more about healthy eating." Our discussion on healthy cooking and plans for his restaurant, which aimed to serve nutritious yet tasty meals, became engaging. It distracted me from family troubles, bringing warm comfort through nostalgic friendship and enlightening encounters. Christine suggested capturing a moment with her smartphone, posing James, Emily, Mark, and me together, captioning it "The Best Thanksgiving with the Best Friends," before posting it on social media. Surprised and normally averse to such posts, I consented tonight. The evening extended into late night filled with reminiscing, new tales, laughter, and the freedom of youth once again. Before leaving, James handed me his card. "I'd appreciate it if you helped me with my restaurant menu. Your pharmaceutical perspective would be valuable," he offered warmly. This unexpected yet natural connection made me smile, accepting his card. Meanwhile, at home, Mom and Ashley were tense. "It's been hours. Where could she have gone?" Mom worried, glancing out the window. "Sis seemed really upset," Ashley admitted, unusually regretful. The video got thousands of views. Comments are a mess. Carol's feelings matter more. Mom snapped. I'm worried. Ashley, ceasing smartphone activity, displayed a photo to Mom. Is this Carol? She asked, showing her Christine's social media post. Carol smiling brightly among friends, captioned with, "The best Thanksgiving with the best friends, #TearFriendsgiving." Mom was speechless. There was regret in Ashley's voice. My prank ruined, she's smiling, Ashley muttered, immediately silenced by Mom. Think about Carol. We marred her Thanksgiving for this, your social media. Introspection followed, Ashley silent as Mom urged calling. Attempts proved futile with no response. Messages and missed calls grew on Carol's phone as regrets loomed back home. Yet, outside Christine's apartment, new bonds rekindled a warmth forgotten long ago. Leaving, I felt fulfilled enough to book into a hotel spontaneously, reflecting on a strangely rejuvenating night. The evening was away from family, yet it brought an unexpected discovery. While waiting for a taxi, I heard someone call my name from behind. Turning around, I saw James approaching, slightly out of breath. Can we talk for a moment? He asked, appearing nervous. Earlier, we had gotten lost in a conversation about cooking, but it seemed there was more he wanted to discuss. Under the streetlight, his expression was genuine and heartfelt. He began enthusiastically. I trained in French and Italian cuisine in New York. Upon returning home, I wished to open a restaurant with a unique concept, healthy and delicious food. This sounded wonderful to me, and I smiled as he hesitated slightly. I'd like your advice as a pharmacist, he continued, as a consultant for developing healthy menus. While surprised by the sudden proposal, I reminded him that I wasn't a nutritionist. That's exactly why I want your input, he responded eagerly. Pharmacists have a deep understanding of how the body functions and the effects of nutrients. From our talk today, I noticed your passion for cooking. It's a perfect mix. His sincerity moved me. Having worked as a hospital pharmacist for many years, I had begun to feel stuck in a routine. The idea of a new challenge was appealing. I'll think about it, I answered, to which he smiled, handing me his contact information. As the taxi arrived and I said goodbye, my thoughts were already occupied with his proposition. Lying on the hotel bed later, I reflected on the night's events. My Thanksgiving plans were ruined, but I had an unexpected encounter. The next morning, I faced a flood of missed calls and messages on my phone, messages of concern from Mom, mixed apologies, and excuses from Ashley. I hesitated about responding but, instead, decided to pull out James's card, thinking of his excitement from the night before. I decided to take the leap and send him an email. James, thank you for last night. Could you tell me more about your proposal? The reply came swiftly. Carol, thanks for your message. Could we meet this Saturday at my test kitchen? I'm trying out some new recipes. That weekend, I visited his test kitchen, a small space tucked behind an old cafe that his uncle owned. There, James showcased his work on developing health-conscious dishes. This is a low-carb quinoa risotto. This is a gluten-free carrot cake. He introduced one creation after another. I'm keen to include more ingredients with medicinal properties, like anti-inflammatory turmeric. As I tasted his dishes, I offered advice, drawing from my pharmaceutical expertise. Curcumin is fat-soluble, so it should be paired with black pepper to boost its absorption. His eyes brightened. That's the knowledge I was looking for. From that day, our collaboration began. I spent weekends in James's test kitchen and devoted weekday evenings after hospital shifts to researching healthy recipes. One day, James suggested, Carol, why don't you start a blog about cooking healthy from a pharmacist's perspective? I'm sure there's an audience for it. Initially hesitant, I launched a blog titled Pharma Food with his encouragement. I shared healthy recipes, emphasizing pharmacological knowledge, the medicinal effects of ingredients, and food-drug interaction information. Unexpectedly, the blog attracted attention, particularly among individuals with chronic illnesses and allergies. Articles from the Basics of Dietary Therapy Taught by a Pharmacist series were especially popular. My bond with James grew stronger, too. His restaurant plans progressed steadily, and I began spending not only weekends but also some weekday evenings in the kitchen. Something deeper than a mere professional partnership was beginning between us. "Carol, I'd like you to officially co-manage the restaurant," he proposed seriously one day. "Your expertise and zeal are vital to this project." Though my heart leaped at the offer, I also felt anxious. "But I'm a pharmacist," I said. "I don't have restaurant management experience." "It's my first time, too," he laughed. "But I believe we can succeed if we work together." After much deliberation, I made a significant decision. I reduced my hospital work to 3 days a week, dedicating the rest of my time to restaurant preparations. A few months later, everything was set for the opening of Healthy Delight. The interior featured a bright and open space, with walls adorned with beautiful graphics depicting the medicinal properties of ingredients. The menu highlighted dishes I developed incorporating my pharmaceutical knowledge: grilled salmon rich in omega-3, a turmeric and ginger energy smoothie, berry dessert loaded with antioxidants. Finally, I was prepared to present the menu to others confidently. James and I sat in the kitchen of the restaurant the night before the opening, toasting the beginning of our new venture. A year ago, on that Thanksgiving night, I couldn't have imagined this future. I reflected out loud. "Sometimes life takes unexpected turns," he noted gently, "but it's wonderful if it's in a positive direction." The restaurant's opening day exceeded our expectations. The space was packed with blog readers and health-conscious locals. The idea of a health-focused restaurant overseen by a pharmacist seemed to intrigue many. 3 months in, a local newspaper spotlighted Healthy Delight as an innovative health restaurant. That article spurred interest from a local TV station, and one day I received an email from the producer of Michigan Morning. Excitedly, I reported the news to James. "They want to feature our restaurant," I shared enthusiastically. "Amazing! That's fantastic news," he replied, giving me a warm hug. I felt grateful for the transformations of the past year. During discussions with the TV station, we agreed on a feature named Healthy and Delicious Food by a Former Pharmacist. "Your story will captivate viewers," remarked the producer. "From pharmacy to kitchen, an inspiring career change." As the recording date neared, nerves gripped me, but James's support helped me manage them. "Carol, you've changed so much," he said tenderly the evening before the recording. "You're far more self-assured than when we first met." "It's thanks to you," I responded, "for showing me new possibilities." The following day, while cooking on camera, I spoke about my journey, sharing how applying my pharmaceutical expertise to cooking became my new passion, contributing to people's health. The recording was a success, and the show was scheduled for that weekend. Simultaneously, Ashley happened to be scrolling through her smartphone, watching TV when, suddenly, a familiar face flashed across the screen during a local station preview. "Mom," Ashley called out. "Look, it's Sis." Judith rushed in from the kitchen. "What did you say?" Indeed, on the screen was Caroline, confidently wearing an apron and sharing her knowledge with viewers. As a pharmacist, you can transform your dining table with nutritious and tasty dishes, much like what former pharmacist Ashley accomplished. "Sis is going to be on TV," Judith read the caption, stunned. She hadn't heard from Caroline in months, just brief messages that revealed little about Caroline's activities. "Carol owns a restaurant?" Judith muttered, incredulous. Quickly, Ashley searched on her smartphone. She discovered Healthy Delight. There it was, with Caroline's name listed as co-owner. They exchanged glances. Caroline's life had shifted dramatically since that Thanksgiving night. Mornings at Healthy Delight are filled with preparation aromas, and 3 months post-TV appearance, the restaurant's fame kept climbing. Regular customers increased, with weekends fully booked. "Carol, coffee," James said, handing a mug across the counter. Such thoughtful gestures brought everyday joy. "Thank you," I smiled, contemplating the day's special menu in the calm before opening hours. My smartphone buzzed on the table, a new message. Seeing Ashley's name on the notification, I held my breath. "It's been a while, can we meet?" Though brief, it stirred my emotions. Since appearing on TV, I had contacted Mom frequently, but it was the first direct outreach from Ashley. "What's wrong?" James noted my expression. "A message from my sister." He left the counter, sitting beside me. "Will you reply?" he asked. I sighed. Yes, perhaps it's time to meet her. Nearly 18 months had passed since that Thanksgiving, and while my anger and sadness had mellowed, replaced by contentment in my new life, lingering family issues remained. Perhaps it was time to confront them. We met at a city cafe, a neutral setting. Yet, as Ashley entered, I recalled it as one of her favored Instagram spots, which likely influenced her choice. "Carol," she greeted me with slight nervousness, her confidence slightly shaken, and appearance notably slimmer. "Ashley." I rose, giving her a gentle cheek kiss. A seemingly typical sisterly reunion, yet the air felt heavy. "It's been a while," she said, sitting down. "I saw you on TV. You've changed a lot." "Have I?" I responded calmly, concealing complex internal emotions. After small talk on weather and trivialities, Ashley got to the heart of it. "I need to tell you something." She focused on her coffee. "A lot has happened since Thanksgiving." Her voice carried an unusual vulnerability. The prank video, it backfired. Initially, reactions were funny, but later criticism increased. "Betraying the family for views. Using your sister became the narrative," she admitted, giving a bitter smile. In the end, several sponsorships were canceled and subscriber numbers fell. My pranking series was completely scrapped. I listened in silence. She likely expected sympathy that didn't come. Mom faced challenges too. Continuing, she explained, her friends spread the video's story, damaging her reputation. "Exploiting your daughter," they said, causing even Walter to grow sullen. Calmly, I asked, "So, what do you want from me?" At my directness, Ashley flinched. "We want to be a family again," she said earnestly. "Mom wants to see you this Thanksgiving. We want to spend it as a proper family." Family. I pondered the once all-important word. "Ashley," I stated candidly, "I've discovered a new life. I prefer calling those who genuinely care my family." Her expression darkened. "So, we're not family?" she queried. "We share blood, but that night, you didn't attempt to understand me, just used me as a tool to boost views. Is that what family does?" Ashley found no words. "I'll accept if you're apologizing for the hurt. However, regaining our past relationship is impossible. I've changed." Tears filled Ashley's eyes. "I'm truly sorry," she said. "I know what I did was inexcusable." Breathing deeply, I shared, "I can forgive, but not forget." At parting, Ashley said sincerely, "Can I visit your restaurant?" "Of course," I smiled. "Make a reservation. It's quite popular." Surprised, she quickly nodded. "I'll inform Mom too." 2 weeks following our conversation, I received a message from Mom. "Carol," I spoke to Ashley. "I'm thrilled about your success. I'd love to visit your restaurant." After discussing with James, I confirmed her reservation for the next Tuesday lunchtime. The second Thanksgiving since that night marked 2 years. This year, we offered a special healthy delight menu, adapting traditional Thanksgiving dishes healthily, with all slots booked. On a bustling preparation morning, James called me aside, his expression tense. "Can we talk?" Concerned, I followed. From his pocket, he produced a small box. Not sure if the timing's right, but opening it revealed a beautiful engagement ring. "Carol, will you marry me?" It was breathtaking. Yes, absolutely. Tears rolled down my cheeks. That evening, when Mom and Ashley arrived, I showed my ring at their table. "I got engaged this morning." Mom stood, astonished, embracing me. I paused, then reciprocated. Ashley joined our hug. Despite surface-level healing, a deep divide remained. Yet, in 2 years, I learned, relationships evolve, and that's acceptable. Plans for a second restaurant location and a fulfilling life with James meant living on my terms now. The Thanksgiving prank ironically became a life-turning point. Some things were lost, but what I gained was far greater. I genuinely give thanks for mustering the courage to leave that night and for choosing a new path in life.